Hello creeps! Andy here, and today I'm really excited. So I went on Etsy on the interweb like this. I wanted to find a mystery box of books or a bag of books, a mystery pack of books in some fashion, and I ended up finding this 5 pounds of mystery books. Let me just grab it. Hold on. So this is her. She's a girthy bitch. This is from Neverland Books. I'll leave their link down below, but it is a mystery box of books, and you got to select the genre of the books that you wanted. I can't remember how much it is, but let's open it up. I'm sure that it will let me know once we're inside. Oh wait, before I open it up, because I'll probably be able to see the books in here. I'm guessing that it's gonna be like Stephen King. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that there's some stuff that I don't have and that it's not just all Stephen King books, but I have kind of a, damn it, the air. One second. Back to this. You got your hair in your face. I have kind of a hunch that it's kind of gonna be more Stephen King heavy, but I don't know. Let's see what we got here. And I don't see a packing slip, so I'll have to put up the price for how much this was if I could find it. Okay, this looks like a lot of books. So first impressions, it looks like there's a lot of stuff in here, because I was thinking, oh, horror, it's gonna be like 2 Stephen King books for 5 pounds, but it looks like a lot. So let's dive in. Ooh, I'm really excited. First we have Scott Turow, Innocent, and it says the sequel to Presumed Something, maybe Presumed Innocence, which is kind of shitty that this is a sequel. The hugely anticipated sequel to the genre-defying landmark best-selling Presumed Innocent. So now I'm gonna have to go buy Presumed Innocent so that I could read Innocent. More than 20 years after Rusty Sabick and Tommy Malto went head-to-head in a shattering murder trial of presumed innocence, the men are pitted against each other once again in a riveting psychological match, not watch. When Sabick, now over 60 years old and the Chief Justice of an appellate court, finds his wife Barbara dead under mysterious circumstances, Malto accuses him of murder for a second time, setting into motion a trial that is vintage Chiro, the courtroom at its most taut and explosive. With its characters' insight into both the dark truths of the human psyche and the dense intricacies of the criminal justice system, Scott Turow proves once again that some books simply compel us to read into the night, desperate to know who did it. So it does sound like a good book, but it also kind of sucks that it's a sequel to another book, and obviously it seems like they're related enough to where you kind of have to read the first one in order to understand this one. But you know, that's okay. I can always keep a lookout for this at my used bookstore, the first one, and hopefully I can find that. So there's that guy. Next up we have Jerusalem Inn by Martha Grimes. It says, Jerusalem Inn, from the rough but colorful pub that provides the book's title to the snowbound Gothic estate nearby, the chilly England landscape has never held more atmosphere or thwarted romance, and Jury will never have a more mysterious Christmas. 5 days before Christmas, on his way to a brief holiday, he thinks, Jury meets a woman he falls in love with. He meets her in a snow-covered graveyard, not, he thinks, the best way to begin an attachment. 3 days before Christmas, Jury's aristocratic and unofficial assistant arrives at Spinney Abbey. Among the assembled snowbound guests he meets, Lady Ashington, Beatrice, a writer, blah, 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 blah. He meets these people. Lady Ashington announces, I think we should have a murder. What each would like to know is the other one doing there. I don't know, this seems actually like something that I would be interested in reading. It says, Martha Grimes is not the next Dorothy Sayers, not the next Agatha Christie. She's better than both. I've never even heard of this writer, of this story, anything. Interesting. I'm actually kind of intrigued with this box now because these are 2 books that I've never even heard of, and I'm very impressed that they're not just Stephen King books. Next up we have Collapse, How Societies Choose to Fail or Succeed. It says, who hasn't gazed upon the abandoned temples or the jungle-choked cities and wondered, could the same fate happen to us? In this riveting book, Jared Diamond, whose guns, germs, and steel revolutionized our understanding of history, explored how mankind's use and abuse of the environment revealed the truth behind the world's great collapses. What emerges is a fundamental pattern of environmental catastrophe, one whose warning signs surround us today and that we ignore at our peril. Collapse exposes the deepest mysteries of the past, even as it offers hope for the future. So an interesting selection for horror. Let's see what we got next. We got Phenomenal Physics, a totally non-scary guide to physics and why it matters. Isaac McPhee. Are you fearful of physics? Do black holes and Biggs bosons send your brain into a spin? They do. They really do freak me out. Then let Phenomenal Physics put your mind at ease. It's a fun, fact-filled, and totally demystifying guide to the way the world around us works, packed with images and diagrams. So here's the thing, like, I'm not even mad at this. I'm really excited to go through this and read it. I think it'll be fun. But what does this have to do with horror? Just because it said, are you fearful of black holes? I'm a little confused at this box, but let's dive a little bit deeper. So far, I feel like the Inn might be the only like horror one. The other one seems more like a thriller mystery type of book, the first one. So let's see. Preston and Child, City of Endless Night. This says, when Grace Osmian, the beautiful and reckless daughter of a wealthy tech billionaire, first goes missing, the NYPD assumes that she has simply sped off on another wild adventure until the young woman's body is discovered in an abandoned warehouse in Queens. The head nowhere to be found. Oh. Lieutenant CDS Vincent D'Agosta quickly takes the lead. He knows his investigation will attract fierce scrutiny, so D'Agosta is delighted when FBI Special Agent AXL Pendergast shows up at the crime scene assigned to the case. I feel rather like Brett Rabbit being thrown into the briar patch, Pendergast tells Agosta, because I have found you here in charge, just like when we first met back at the Museum of Natural History. It says this is a mystery thriller written of the highest order, tense and compelling, marvelous. So I don't know if this seems like a book that I would be interested in, but at least it's like somewhat in the mystery thriller horror. I mean, she's got her head removed. It's a horror book. You know, at least it still fits in there. Next up, we have Airborne. This is by Kenneth Opel. It says, this routing adventure has something for everyone. Matt Cruz has the life he has always dreamed of as a cabin boy on the Aurora, a luxury passenger airship that sails hundreds of feet above the ocean. Then one night he meets a dying balloonist who speaks of beautiful creatures drifting through the skies who are completely real and utterly mysterious. That's it. That's all it says.
Actually, though, it did say adventure/horror, so this one's fine.
Don't know that this really sounds like a horror book either. It definitely sounds more like an adventure type of story, but I don't know. Okay, we got that one. Next up here we have Robert A. Caro, Working, Researching, Interviewing, Writing. Okay. It says, for the first time in this book, Robert Caro gives us a glimpse into his own life and work. He describes what it is like to interview the mighty Robert Moses, which, like, again, like, this could be interesting, but what the fudge does this have to do with horror? I'm very confused. Yeah. Am I missing something? And then we have this last book, which is Lori R. King, Keeping Watch. And this doesn't have a cover on it, so I don't even know what this is. But it says dedicated to all the children who fight in wars not of their making. Let me see if I could look up the synopsis of this and see if this one's at least a horror book. It says Alan Carmichael came back from Vietnam a lifetime ago, but only now was he ready to return home. For years, he's lived on the fringes of the law, using a soldier's skills to keep watch over those too young to defend themselves. Some consider him nothing but a kidnapper for hire, the best in the business. Others call him a hero. His specialty has been rescuing children from abusive parents and escorting them to loving homes. But after 25 years, he is ready to take on his final case, a case that could destroy him. The boy's name is Jamie. He believes his father is going to kill him. Alan is convinced that the 12-year-old is right and devises a strategy to save him. His last job done, Alan heads back to Folly Island, where he plans to settle into a quiet life. But not long after his return, a small plane piloted by the boy's father crashes, leaving behind debris but no body. Now it is up to Alan to resolve whether Jamie's father is dead or alive, and to make sure Jamie stays out of harm's way. But a series of ominous events leaves Alan to question whether Jamie's father is really the enemy after all, or if the real threat is far more unspeakable and the killer unimaginable. So this got like 4.06 stars on Goodreads. That's where I read this. This sounds interesting. This sounds like it could be like a horror thriller mystery type book. So let's see how many of these are actually horror. So this one's horror. Airborne, I'm gonna say is more probably adventure. Phenomenal Physics, not horror. Collapse, not horror. Jerusalem M, that could be horror. Scott this Innocent book. It's not horror, but I'm gonna include it because it's probably got some like thriller aspects. This City of Endless Night is probably horror, and then this Robert A. Caro is definitely not. So of the books, 4 I think maybe fit into the horror section, and half of these are probably more like thriller mysteries, and 4 of them are definitely not horror at all. Am I missing some? Am I confused? I'm very confused right now. So how would I rate this box? I gotta be honest, I think I would have been more happy opening a box full of Stephen King that I already had. At least they would be actually horror books. I'm a little disappointed. It just does not seem like this was well thought out or curated. I'm a little disappointed in this. I would give this like a 3 out of 10. I definitely would not order from this company again. I do have another mystery type video coming up soon, and that one definitely seems a lot more promising than this one. But yeah, man, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little sad. Let me know what you guys think about this. I guess that's it for today's video. I'll keep you updated and let you know how I feel about the actual horror books in this. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with another horror video. More horror than these books are. Bye, guys.